Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in my previous video, I did my top 5 worst purchases in the game, and this tank was one of them. The STG, I think it absolutely sucks, and I wish I'd never spent money trying to get this tank. Now, today we're going to look at my top 5 purchases, not my worst, my top 5. These are tanks that I've spent money on, and I'm actually glad I have spent money on because I love them. You know, I absolutely love them. Coming in at number 1. Now, I thought I would do this tank because it is my favorite tank in the game. It is the XM66F. Like I said, my favorite tank in the game, and I absolutely love this tank. I think it's brilliant. It's got so many good things about it, and I think the positives outweighs the negatives with the tank. I enjoy playing it. I could do a lot of damage with it. People can struggle to deal with this tank, and ultimately, I'm so glad that I I paid money for this tank. Absolutely love it. So this is, of course, my number 1. Moving in at number 2. Now, number 2 isn't a tank that I bought when it first come out. I didn't get it when it first come out. I think I might have waited a little bit for it because I didn't want to spend that much money because it was a lot of money. We are talking about the T22. Now, this is a tank that I've always loved. I think it's fantastic. When it comes to Russian medium tanks, I think this has got to be one of the best. It's, of course, you've got the T62, the Object, the 907, etc. But I just think this is absolutely an amazing tank. It always has been. Over the last few years, people have sort of been more negative with the tank, and more so people are learning how to deal with the tank, and ultimately that is it. But it's still a tank that can perform. It's still a tank that is fantastic, and yeah, I'm glad I bought it, and yeah, it's here in my garage to say. And again, there's a lot of positive things with it. The armor, the DPM, the fact that it's got this tungsten shells as well. I think it is a brilliant tank. It's always going to be a brilliant tank indeed. So that is my number 2. Moving on to tank number 3. Now, we're dropping down a few tiers, and I have gone with the Elephant because I've recently done a video on the tank saying how strong this tank is. So, yeah, ultimately, I'm glad I paid for the tank. I think it is fantastic. If you look at the Ferdinand and the J Panther 2 compared to this, I just think this is better in every single way. I'm glad it's got this camouflage as well. I think it makes the tank look amazing, realistic as well. So, yeah, I absolutely love the Elephant. I think the Elephant is so underpowered. Well, say underpowered. It's not overpowered, but it is a very strong tank, and people overlook. That's the word I was looking for. It's overlooked. And yeah, I think it's a brilliant tank, and if you have the opportunity to get the Elephant, I definitely recommend you to get it. Of course, it all depends on that price, but yeah, the Elephant is definitely in my top 5. Moving on to tank number 4. And of course, I had to go with the Smasher. I have to. Even though it's been so overpowered over the years, yeah, it's so fun. It really is fun, and one of my most fun tanks in the game to play. I'm glad I got this when it come out, and those of you that don't know the story of the Smasher, obviously before the Smasher, it was all about KV2. KV2, and then Wargaming released the Smasher, and yeah, the KV2 means nothing now. Like, I know the KV2 is tier 6, this is tier 7, but this is just better than the KV2 in every single way. The penetration, the armor, it is just so much better. It's so much more fun to play, and the fact that when you come up against tier 8s, you can still dominate the game. As soon as you're going to struggle with your AP, you're going to struggle with your HE, but you come up against an IS5, IS3, anything like that, just load up the heat and you will be able to penetrate them with no problem whatsoever. So still to date, one of my best purchases in the game for fun and for OP. I love the tank. I'm always going to love the tank. Never ever going to sell it. And yeah, I suggest if you can get your hands on the Smasher, I still, even today, would think about buying this tank. Now, another tank I was thinking of that I'm not going to put in this list is the Dracula. And again, ever since the Dracula come out, it has always been a fantastic tank and a fun tank. It's not so good now, but it's still fun to play. It really is still fun to play. So yeah, the Dracula is an honorable mention. It's not in my top 5 because ultimately I sit there and think, would I care if I didn't have the tank? Probably not. You know, I wouldn't mind too much. It's not a tank that I go to as much now to play, but whenever I do play it, I do have a lot of fun. I'm glad I've got it, and I'm glad I haven't ever sold it, but I don't think it's in my top 5. It's definitely in my top 10, but ultimately it is not in my top 5, but just an honorable mention for the Dracula. And then it brings you to the final tank in my top 5. And I had to go for the Type 62. Now, a lot of you probably will disagree. Sorry, excuse me. A lot of you probably will disagree with the Type 62, but the Type 62 is been around for a very, very long time. It's been around forever, basically. Especially back in the day, it was a very popular tier 7 tank. And even now, like when you play it, you can still have fun in it. You can still perform well in it, especially if you are top tier. Now, it is a light tank, doesn't have any armor, and it can struggle against tier 8s. But the fact that this tank was very, very cheap, and even now when it comes back, it is still very, very cheap, and I think it's an amazing tank. And it's definitely, I always say it when I make a video on it, it's a buy that everyone should have, or it's a tank that everyone should have in their garage. It's fantastic, and yeah, I think it's again a worthy top 5. I definitely think it is a worthy top 5. So those are my top 5 purchases in World of Tanks Blitz. Now, do bear in mind that as I am a CC, we do have CC events. Sometimes we have tanks, etc. We have gold. So a lot of my tanks I didn't actually pay for. Not I say a lot of my tanks, but say like the Type 5 Heavy. This was going to be in my top 5, but the fact that I got it as a reward, I didn't pay for it. So that's why that wasn't in my top 5. And there are some other tanks that are still very, very good. But I think, you know, I had to go with not just tier 10. I didn't want to just go with tier 10. There's loads of tanks that I'm glad I've got. But the 5 in question were definitely my top 5 purchases in the game. When it comes to all tiers, now I said, just like I said, there are other tanks as well. Other very good tanks in the game. I mean, you've got the G-Saw, the tank. I absolutely love this tank. I think it is fantastic. Didn't actually spend a lot getting it. Because I managed to get very, very lucky. So again, a lot of these tanks that I've got, like G-Saw the tank, I probably managed to get through the gold that I've been given. So I did get pretty lucky with a few of these. But so yeah, those are my top 5, including an honorable mention for the Dracula, which I absolutely love. What are your top 5 purchases in World of Tanks Blitz? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.